Okay, so risk management. Risk management is the considering of potential and perceived risks when it comes to student events and activities, monitoring those events, and also being proactive in our actions and corrective in our steps to minimize potential injury, damage, or loss. Essentially meaning expecting the unexpected when it comes to alcohol and legal substances, hazing, sexual misconduct, student travel, fire and event safety, accommodation of disabilities, and behavior. When it comes to alcohol and legal substances, do not partake when you are volunteering so that you are clear of mind. When it comes to alcohol, UTD has policy, being I believe that you can only consume alcohol at the university pub, but there should be no other consumption of alcohol on campus. There is, however, amnesty if you ever find a student who is drinking underage or participating in any unaccepted activity, or you yourself are, and someone is in need of medical assistance, you will be granted amnesty. Calling 911 and seeking that medical assistance for you or someone else will grant amnesty, meaning that you won't be in trouble for partaking as long as medical help is found. When it comes to hosting events with alcohol, we don't foresee our meetings to ever have alcohol because all of our meetings should be either orientation or group volunteering. And if we were to meet in person, these would be in a computer lab. And so we wouldn't have any beverages, as well as we wouldn't want to be under the influence of alcohol when volunteering. But these would be the steps that we'd go through. And again, you will have these slide sets with your Google Drive, so you can pull out the information and resources through it. And here is the Student Recovery and Counseling Center information. UTD has a policy when it comes to tobacco and tobacco products. They're not allowed on campus. However, if you are at home or in another place where you are allowed to use tobacco products, you may volunteer and use tobacco products if you wish. Here are the consequences and violations when it comes to offenses of alcohol and drugs at UTD. And again, the resources for cessation. Hazing. Hazing is the humiliation, degrading, abusing, or endangering any individual, even if they are willing to participate in the activity. It is illegal federally through state and as well UTD policy. Hazing is not how we normally perceive it in TVs and movies and shows, by it being through sports or Greek life, but it can also be in small recreational clubs, performing arts, as well as honor societies. Examples of hazing is, having to prove your worth as a new recruit, being isolated, blindfolded, being forced to consume alcohol or participate in activities that you don't agree with, such as illegal ones, as well as sleep deprivation, being physically and emotionally harassed, yelled at, screamed, embarrassed, and as well made to do those sorts of things in a public situation. If you ever feel that someone might be getting hazed, or you yourself are, make sure to ask yourself, are you being asked to do anything illegal? Is anything being asked to be kept secret? Is anyone feeling any emotional or physical distress? And is there anything happening that you wouldn't want school, college administrator, friends, family to know about? There will be some resources on the UTD Police and Office of Dean of Students shortly if you ever need to report such instances. When it comes to sexual misconduct, it's not limited to these definitions here, but also through the state and federal law, as well as the Title IX education policy. So remember, always know your resources, be around good friends, making sure people are earning your trust, and you're staying alert, and you're always careful whenever you're posting your location. Here's the phone number for the UTD police. This is good to have as a contact in your phone, not only for emergencies, but also to report little things such as, slippery floors or broken glass. As well, even if your car isn't starting, they're always happy to help jump your car as well, get it started for you. And then at the end is also the Title IX coordinator email at UTD. For student travel, this is in reference to any event that could be 25 miles away from campus or more. There's certain policies we would abide by, but again, I don't feel that we would have any events off of campus, let alone 25 miles away, but if we did, these would be our procedures. Making sure that we set a travel monitor that's keeping constant contact with the university, that they're making sure that everyone has valid driver's license, insurances, and everyone who's coming to the event also all have their medical documentation. And then we would contact through these offices here to make sure that everyone is safe. For fire and event safety, making sure that us as an organization are taking everyone's personal safety into account when it comes to events, properly planning them, and making sure everyone knows what to do during a crisis. There is campus carry on at UTD. I believe it to be only in these residential areas, however, not in the main campus. If you're ever concerned or want to look more about this policy if it pertains to you, here's the link to the UTD campus carry. So whenever there's fire or other sort of safety issue, always remember to take alarms seriously. Don't think that it's just a drill. Go outside, make sure everything's okay. Especially now with quarantine, make sure there's proper crowd control, making sure that there's not too many people in one room, that we're not reaching maximum capacity, as well as we're not closing out or blocking any entrances or exits, as well as tampering with any smoke detectors or sprinkler systems. And even at home while you're volunteering, making sure that your electrical circuits aren't being overloaded, that you're not having a bunch of splitters and extenders coming out to just one outlet. And anytime that there's anything that pulls a lot of electricity, such as a large computer, making sure that you're using surge protectors to protect your outlets from fire. Again, whenever you can see a safety issue, always report it. Things like slippery floors, broken glass, water leaks, lights out, broken doors, event equipment missing, as well as strange odors. If there's ever a crisis, remember to stay calm, call for help. If you don't know who to call 911, UTD police, if it's on campus and they can get there faster, or if it wasn't happened the previous day or just something you wanted to let the university know about, you can always contact the Office of Dean of Students as well. For students that need accommodation to disabilities, disabilities are not limited to definitions here. We're willing to work with anyone who's requesting accommodations. We work directly with the Office of Student Accessibility. You can either reach out directly to us or through this office, and we'll guarantee that we can make accommodations for you. And again, disability is not limited to learning, visual, hearing, speech, physical, but any accommodations welcome. So behavior, making sure that us as an organization, the university, and all of its students and members are having proper behavior, having doing positive actions on and off campus, and not participating in any negative actions such as fighting, vandalism, and arrests. For any questions regarding disorderly conduct or what might be perceived as orderly conduct, there's a student conduct handbook here provided. There are multiple types of risks, some of the main being physical, reputational, emotional, financial, and facility. For physical risks, again, things like proper use of equipment, making sure there's no water next to computers, making sure that you're not overloading power circuits. Reputational risks, now with social media, making sure that if you ever post anything on social media, that it's always representative positively, and if something that might not be positive, as long as it's truthful and constructive. Then emotional risks, making sure that there's no discrimination, no stereotyping. If there's ever any emotional injury that has already been inflicted, that there's always after effects being made so that you can deal with that for yourself or any injury to others. For financial risks, making sure that there's no theft, misuse, or damages. And facilities risk, again, not having too many people in one room at one time, making sure there's always proper cleanup and setup all around you. So that concludes the risk management planning. The rest of the slide set is just some case studies and examples of how us as an organization can better assess and manage risk. And that finishes that. Are there any questions regarding the contents of the slides?